library. Monkman is over there playing hide and go seek, and she's on patrol looking for Squiggles the mouse or whatever Squiggles she's looking for. I guess Squiggles is outside because today, this whole week is gonna be bitter cold. The week of February 7th through 14th. Anyway, this is Amy, and I probably need to make a basic intro now. Like, it'll be nice if I have an intro, which I should, of me squeaking and squawking and doing some music and a title, a theme, an intro and an outro. That's what I need. Why not? Why not? I don't post that many videos. I mean, barely once. I have enough once a week from last old videos and new videos to go from here until April, and I probably have a few more now to go to May. But YouTube editor sucks to the highest. I mean, it really sucks. And I'm gonna try to see if I can edit it on my other book because the Chromebook, I don't know. Whatever it is, it sucks, and it wouldn't let me add the pictures and edit the video the way I want. I mean, so I kind of just gave up. Literally, I just gave up. With that, I probably could do a much better job editing it on my iPad, but then to upload it from the iPad, it's like a month and a half, and it's like a testament of. I mean, I guess I have too many apps on it. It's an older iPad from 2014. No, 2000. Yeah, like November 2014 or maybe January 2015. Whenever it is, the editor I had was Windows Media Player, which the Clifton Park Library had. But all the library. Oh, here's Monka Man now. Oh, hello, Monka Man. Are you gonna say hello? Say hello to the people, Monka Man. Say hello. Are you playing hide and go seek, Monka Man? There she is. Say hello, Monka Man. You're not gonna say hello? Well, anyway, here's another chit chat with me and my cat. And today I was gonna talk about the vision boards, law of attraction, the power of the spoken word, and so far, I guess a tally of everything that I have spoken into existence, how much of it has manifested so far, and how much of it, how much has manifested and came true, and how much has yet to come true and manifest. Okay, now she's chasing squiggles and a piece of dust. So she's on patrol and chase time and playtime now. She was finishing nap time, did a bit of nibble time, scratched up the couch some more, and now she's playing a little bit and playing hide and go seek. I see your tail, Monka Man. Where is she at? Crunchy bits, crunchy bits. They tried to get her to come over with the crunchy bits, but she never did. With that said, and I have to, Windows Media Maker, and I guess that was on I don't know, the one before Windows 10, Windows 9, or what the hell it was, Windows XP. That one had a really nice basic editing. I mean, it was basic. You could edit, do all types of stuff. It got a job done to the point. I mean, I could edit a video, do something, make a slideshow, a PowerPoint, slide, whatever, and I could get it done in like half an hour or an hour. And I did all types of little videos then. And I had like a $50 camera. And if you look at my old early videos on YouTube, you can see the high quality sewage level cinematography of a $50 Walmart camera. It took photographs. Okay. I mean, it was probably just as good as my old cheap ass Boost mobile cell phone camera. I mean, it was like it wasn't a flip phone. It was like a regular phone. It was a phone that you have to push. Like if you want to say hi, you have to push ABC, HI, you have to push it's like 3 letters, like a regular phone that you have to push 3 times just to get the letters to spell out. So yeah, I mean, it was whatever. But anyway, I was able to edit it. But since someone stole my camera, probably my former roommate or this guy I dated or who knows what, then the updated laptops do not have Windows Media Maker from 10 on. Microsoft, of course, while he was buying up all the farmland, he decided to not include Windows Media Maker on his upcoming computers. And I guess I could probably download a follow-up wannabe version from what do they call it? Sourceware or shareware or whatever they call it when it's free. I don't know what you call it. Whatever, not malware, but freeware. I don't know. Whatever it is. I like that one, but I don't know. I forgot what they call it when it's free. You don't have to pay for it. And it's open source. Yeah, I think it's called open source. Open source Windows Media Maker. Whatever it is. Anyway, let me get to the point. Because I see I've been rambling for almost 5 minutes. And hopefully I'll get. Oh, hello, my command. Now she's over here saying hello. Nibble time. But anyway, as I try to figure out, make an intro at some point, um, I'm basically just giving an update and a tally. I think I first heard of the law of attraction back when I was living in Washington, D.C., still habitually single and alone, dealing with a bunch of perverts and, I don't know, molesters and sexual predators and everything under the sun, but no boyfriends or relationships. And I'm sure between my Asperger's, basically an adult Aspie, which, so I guess between me being an Aspie, employment and relationships always was like an issue, relationships and employment. I guess I'm quirky and quirky and animals and senile people and drag, people in fringes of society were always like accepting, but mainstream people was always like, whatever. So whatever. So of course, I was single, whatever, and trying to get a property and living in an apartment that I didn't even qualify for, and I had to get my friend to kind of like lie that she was my supervisor and everything else and whatever, just to get into the apartment. And then I ended up having to get a roommate, which is perfectly fine because I, you know, with that said, I'm messing with my hair now. That's why I'm always messing with my hair, because of my Aspie thing. I don't know. Oh, there you eating your crunchy bits. With that said, I think messing with my hair helps me concentrate, which is why I'm always like playing jump rope with my hair. It's soothing, and I guess it helps me concentrate. Like rocking back and forth helps me concentrate, or soothing, like wiggling and rocking puts me to sleep. Like I guess like rocking chairs for old people, or bayonets or swings or whatever they call it for children, toddlers, or getting in a car. Everyone falls asleep when they're in a car or on a subway or on a bus. The motion and puts you to sleep, the movement. So I need a swinging bed. And that's one of the things I'm speaking out into existence, a swinging bed, which I could probably make if I get a 6-foot trampoline and rig it up. But with that, still, I was basically looking at, somehow I think I found out about the book called Rich Dad, Poor Dad by Robert Kiyosaki. And oh, that's what it was. I was in Maryland and I had a job in DC doing promotions and marketing and in Georgetown. And I guess en route home, I decided to, Georgetown is a very uppity, posh part of town versus the hood or everywhere else. So I said, well, just like one friend told me, well, if you want a lottery ticket, never go to the poor neighborhoods, the poor white, black, and Latino neighborhoods. So any poor neighborhood, you only get lottery tickets in the rich neighborhood. I mean, you may get $100 in the poor neighborhood, but if you want like that mega millions or all that stuff, you got to go to the rich and posh neighborhood where no one needs it in the first place. But the only place you ever win the lottery tickets is in the rich neighborhood. And that probably makes sense, because whenever people win these millions of dollars, they already have jobs and work at nice companies, and they're not like struggling, living off welfare, homeless, and spending their last money on some scratch offs. They already got a lot of money. So I said that must make sense. I took that same concept as saying, well, in the rich, nice neighborhood, surely those libraries have secrets to how to get wealth and magical ways to get money. So I went to like the really nice neighborhood in MacArthur Boulevard and up, in DC Northwest, not too far from American University. Well, I did take classes at. I took several classes at American University in Northwest off of Nebraska Avenue. That's a very nice university, international university. Anyway, I went to like the MacArthur Boulevard Library, some other fancy posh libraries, and checked it out. And I guess I got Rich Dad, Poor Dad from Robert Kiyosaki. And I read all of that. And then from there, I got the Cash Flow Quadrant, which is his follow-up. And then and I think it was from those two books, they mentioned Think and Grow Rich by Norman Vincent Peale, I think. So this was all getting introduced to me, because they don't never teach you this in grade school. They don't teach you this in high school. And if you go to university and major in business, I mean, I don't know, they teach you different things, but they don't really teach you how to start a business and be an entrepreneur per se. And when I went to the small business at Howard University, my alma mater, he told me to take all the money I saved and pay off all my bills and get a job working at a Starbucks or something, which was nice. But I went to him trying to open up a shop, and I can understand the concept about you have to work at a shop to understand how it works, but you also hire people. I mean, I don't know. So I kind of like went to them. He basically told me to take my savings and pay off my bills and do something else. So that was kind of a disappointment. With that said, I looked at about Norman Vincent Peale, Think and Grow Rich, and then somehow they talked about The Secret. I'm like, what the hell is The Secret? And this was like, and I saw all this on YouTube. So because I never lived at Oprah that much, but it was like YouTube. They had the lady from Australia, New Zealand talk about The Secret when the movie came out, which I never even saw the movie until years later on like the library, DVD on the library for free. But she was talking about The Secret and the power of the spoken word and all these things. And my mom also took me to see the movie What the Bleep Do We Know? And she found that movie at like the Georgetown, like independent movie theater, and went to see that with my mom. And so we saw that. I mean, it was cool. It was talking about like the power of thoughts and energies and so forth, which is very much true because everything in the physical starts out in the spiritual. I mean, even if you think about string theory and like from the Bible, the Torah and the Old Testament, it said, "Let us make man in our image. Let us, like God." The beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God, and the God was me, and Jesus, and they said, and God said, "Let there be light," and let there, so they spoke existence to it. They spoke the ocean, they spoke the lights, and spoke that, and that's like the Hebrew and the Christian Bible. And then obviously they have other, voice. What is your voice? A voice is vibrations, sound waves. I mean, you can't see sound waves unless you look at it on a computer or something. I mean, maybe ultraviolet, that's light waves. I mean, infrared, that's again light waves. I guess you can see ultrasonic sound, and that's like very low frequency. I guess you use ultrasound for like the images of a baby. And I guess you can't see things via ultrasound, very low frequency vibrations. But basically, it's like light waves and vibrations and so forth. And even string theory talks about multiple universes. So it's really interesting. I like science and documentaries and stuff. But it was from that I checked out about the power of the spoken word. And at the same time, I was going to a church. And I mean, I'm American, but I've been to like different American, like growing up, I went to like, what do you call that? Vacation Bible school and what else you call it? Summer camp, whatever you call it, with kids, they seen you in junior high, go here, go there. Like, whether when I graduated, my mom took me out of the Girl Scouts, she allowed me to go to like a summer camp at this church here, some conservative Christian church. And I went to like summer camps, and I went to other summer camps when I got to high school. So I went to those things. They were all American. And of course in school, they don't talk. And then when I got to college, I hung out with some people at the Catholic Student Union, different things. But I really, I wasn't, I checked out all types of religions, to be honest. It was very fascinating. Everything from Hare Krishna to Baha'i to Islam to Wiccan, New Age, everything under the sun. Anyway, so I checked out a whole lot of religions. I find, religious studies and linguistics and the science of human speech and anthropology very fascinating. Just the study of humans, how they spoke, what type of music they listened to, maybe what type of clothes they wore, what type of food they ate, the regions I always liked geography. Even as a kid, I always found geography very fascinating. And I actually wanted to major in geography as I'm a freshman in college. So with that, I started going to this African church even before I read Rich Dad, Poor Dad. And before I even heard of Robert Kiyosaki and Think and Grow Rich and all that, I went to an African church, which is like probably the first foreign church I went to. With every other church was an American. And I went there actually because at the time I was kind of like agnostic. I mean, I wasn't agnostic. I was like a Christian, but I was pissed off at God. And so, because my dad died and I still didn't get a husband. So I was like, what the hell is this stuff is not even working. It was a waste of my time. And of course, all through my 20s, I've spoke reality. It's like, talk about how poor I was, how single, saying, I wasn't going to get married until the end of the world. And 3 days before the world ends, and I was so poor, I'm broke. I was seeking all type of negative word curse into my life for a decade and of course it manifested in poverty and singleness. And I spoke that all the time, and I never even heard the power of spoken word. I never really paid much attention to it because I'm thinking if it's so powerful, okay, I speak thousands of dollars into my pocket. Where's the money? It's never instantly. So I thought I never even heard of such a thing. But I was going to this African church, and some of the people at the church, actually my roommate at the time, who's a friend of mine, she was I met her as a roommate. She was agnostic, and her family is Baha'i, and her sister is Wiccan. Now, I didn't learn about Baha'i through her family, and I didn't learn about Wiccan through her sister. I learned about Wiccan and Baha'i through some other people, but she was agnostic, and and her family is Baha'i and her sister is Wiccan. But she had an account of, I guess, Jesus and whatever. And hello, and she went to this African church, and she took me there, and I really was just going to get like what they call it, prophecy readings. So I said, let me go give me some, see what prophecy I can get. Why not? I need some. And actually, at the point, I was just coming back it was like a year after I'd been back in Japan. My dad passed away while I was in Japan. And while I was in Japan, but I became, I checked out the Mormons because the Mormons were over there, missionaries teaching people how to speak English. So they taught me how to speak Japanese. Then they taught me about Mormonism. So I think I even went to Mormonism. So like I said, I did all types of the Mormons while I was in Japan. I didn't really know too much about Buddhism, but because the people I met in Japan, they weren't really active Buddhists. So I learned probably more about Buddhists probably looking at documentaries on TV or like Hinduism, Jainism, you see all types of stuff on YouTube, whatever. But I'm just checking all types of videos because I find it fascinating. Plus I said, well, I'm sure there's a truth out there. So, but I mean, I was just checking stuff out. Anyway, I went to her church, and that's how I started going to this little African church, like a little storefront church. And it was small, but I noticed that when they like prayed for people, they would get answers. So that's why I kept going. So, you get answers when you get prayer. I need some help. And so I really was just kind of going for like the miracles. I mean, self-preservation, and I need some help. I need money, or I need and she was like doing prayer, and she was talking about how she was getting all these instant results, like her, healing her grandma from cancer and her cousin from cancer, and getting this and helping that. I said, well, look, I need you to pray for some money. And she kept talking about she was doing a fast. She wouldn't do it. So I basically kind of kidnapped her, literally. I drove her around. So I'll drive you home after you pray for me for some money. So literally she only prayed for me for money because I kidnapped her, which is really crappy and shitty, but that's what she did. And then I dropped her off. And by the time I got home, a promotional marketing job that I've been trying to get for a minute finally called me and said, can you come in tomorrow? We have an opening right now. I said, wow, you got like 30 minutes or less results. You mean like Domino's Pizza? You pray even though I had to kidnap you, and I got the results 30 minutes later. And that's the job I was working at. One of the 3 jobs, the promotional marketing job, was one of the jobs I was working at when I was in Georgetown, checking things out. So like that, I got the job through kidnapping her to pray for me, which is really cruddy that I had to kidnap her to pray for me. But, and then again, I was probably very selfish of me to only go to church to get some results. But why else was I going to go? I mean, no offense, but I'm not super holy. I'm material and human. So I was going for healing and miracles and a husband and material things. I mean, I'm not too interested in having out-of-body experiences and speaking in tongues and going to Pluto and the lost city of Atlantis. I just like Earth, and I'm cool with that. I wouldn't mind experiencing zero gravity and maybe visiting the space station for a 30-minute trip, as long as I get back to Earth 30 minutes later. But I don't want to be stuck there for a month, Mars or anywhere else. Outside of that, I like Earth. So, I'm just carnal, fleshly, human, unholy, whatever. So yeah, I was going for, for knowledge, for learning, but also because they got answers to their prayers. And I said, well, that's the first place, it's not every day someone prays to get you answers. I know when I was at the University of Maryland, and we were roommates, actually, when she was still agnostic, we were still roommates. One of the chicks in the gymnastics class, I went to like this evening Bible study. Again, it was American church, and it was an evening Bible study, or evening church, or whatever you call it, evening college church, because who's going to get up at 10 a.m. on a Sunday? But it was like 6 p.m. and they served food. So of course, and the music was nice. They served food. The people were nice. I went there. And actually it was through that group that I met my follow-up roommate. But anyway, she would pray and she got answers to her prayers. So I had her pray for my cat, because I'm like, okay, well, you get answers. Can you pray for my cat? Or like I said, I kidnapped my friend and prayed for me. So yeah, I wasn't praying for myself, because I never got answers at all, ever, which is why I stopped dealing with church altogether. Because what the hell is the purpose? None of them never got answers. But other people, if they get answers, pray for my cat, pray for me for this and that. So yeah, even if I had to kidnap her or ask the gymnast, can she kindly pray for my cat, or ask my friend, even if I had to kidnap her to pray for me, so that's what I was doing. And so thusly, I see my kitty cat's having fun now. She's going to bother Sprout, which is right there. That little green thing is Sprout, and that's a teapot, whatever you call this. But anyway, I guess she's on patrol, and I see you. You're on the hunt. She's on the hunt. I guess you can't see Mucka Man. And she's chewing. I don't know why she likes to chew on Sprout. Anyway, really? I see you, Mucka Man. I see you bothering Sprout. She's on top of the bathtub now, waiting to bother Sprout. Anyway, as I was saying, so it was the African church. They was like, oh, you speak so negative. You speak so word curses and this and that, and all the evil word curses you speak out to your own life. And I was like, what? What are you talking about? What? I don't know, whatever. So I wasn't even familiar with this. It sounded like ridiculousness, superstition. But I mean, I was polite about it, but I just dismissed it because I'm like, whatever you say, sure, okay. And they said it enough times that I guess it stuck, even though I didn't really take heed to it. And even at a job, another part-time job I had, one of the coworkers like, "Oh, you speak so negative," and I'm thinking, "Oh, everyone's saying this now." So I guess coincidence, like they say, I forgot what they outside of coincidence, I forgot what they call synchronicity or whatever. So yeah, I was like, "Oh, okay." So I guess that was a synchronicity telling me you speak evil word curses to yourself, which is very true. Like I said, for a whole decade, I was prophesying evil and poverty and singleness and didn't even know it. But it was so after, it was while I was going to that African, little small African church, and I guess hearing a few members there and a coworker or two telling me how I spoke so negative. And and actually a lot of religions, I think I know Buddhism, they have a lot of chants and mantras, and Wiccan is very specific about what you speak. New Age is very specific about what you speak. So a lot of the spiritual religions talk about the power of the spoken word. Christianity, I guess Judaism, I don't know, but I know, I guess Judaism, the part of Kabbalah. I mean, I think a lot of religions talk about the power of the spoken word because it's a universal law. Whatever, you can be atheist, you can be agnostic, you can be a Christmas tree, but this is a universal law whether you like it or not. So yeah, at the time I didn't know anything about it, and I just kind of dismissed it. Anyway, I went, like I said, I got a job working, not a lot of little part-time jobs. And one of the part-time jobs was doing the promotion and marketing, the one that I had to kidnap my friend to pray for, give me some money because I'm broke. And by the time I got home, 30 minutes later, they had the job waiting for me. So I was working there and doing promotion. I had another promotion and marketing job, Georgetown as well. So I had like 2 or 3 promotion and marketing jobs. And so that's when I said, let me go check out the library in a nice, rich neighborhood to see what rich hiding secrets they have in the rich neighborhoods that they ain't gonna tell the poor people. So that's when I got the books, and then I found out about the law of attraction from there and the power of the spoken word. And so I'm like, okay, yeah, sure. And actually, L. Ron Hubbard and Scientology, after you do all that what do you call it? Tuning, or I forgot the word, where you auditing, you do a bunch of auditing, and then you do to the next level, then you go on a cruise ship and all that stuff. I mean, I checked out Scientology too. I think the end result is to be able to speak and manifest, I guess, like manifest time and matter, basically the power of the spoken word, but they do it in another way. So to get results, get what you want by doing some, whatever, speaking stuff into existence, same thing, different way to do it, but I don't know. So anyway, I was doing that, and I said, well, let me, whatever, and so this is, yeah, that's interesting. So yeah, I was doing all that, thinking about it now. Oh, hold on. No, that it was after the fact. But I think the first time, literally, when I kidnapped her to pray for me, that I guess the African church kept telling me how negative I spoke and speaking life. And then she was telling me how her sister, who's a Wiccan, had to be very specific in her speaking. And we were going through Baltimore from DC to go to Lancaster, Pennsylvania to see this play that my roommate at the time couldn't go, bought the tickets. So I said, well, I have a free ticket. You want to go? So me and my other friend, my former roommate, who's a friend of mine now, went to Lancaster and was stuck in traffic. And so I said, and I think I even had a rental car. So I said, I have to go. I got the rental car and everything. But anyway, I said, well, let me test it out. I said, I command this traffic to go now. I'm tired of it. And like 5 minutes later, traffic started moving. I said, isn't that funny? And then she was saying how she was seeing all types of synchronicities, like she was thinking about strawberries or watermelon and continuously strawberry, notebook, strawberry shortcake, strawberry smoothie. She just saw nonstop strawberry stickers and all that stuff. And so I said, well, let me so that was my first attempt telling like traffic to go, and it worked. So I was just testing it then. So then I was on a train and I tested it once there. I was like, okay, like maybe a week later, I said, well, I command that I'll meet a guy. I don't know. I said something, and I probably didn't meet a guy. He was a booty call. He was cute too, but all he wanted was a quick fuck. So that didn't really, because I wanted a relationship, but so I did meet a booty call, but so I started practicing that. And that was, I don't know. And so I guess I started like taking it seriously at that point. And so I began to, I just kind of copied what she did in this televangelist guy. She kind of like made a vision board type thing, which obviously is something you do. Like, I see my cat's about to rip up. So she made a vision board, and then I kind of followed her and this televangelist dude who's always sending you holy hallelujah strings and holy hallelujah oil and holy hallelujah pieces of cloth. So and whole types of stuff. So I kind of like followed her thing and his little whatever, and made me my own vision board and whatever. So it was very crude at the beginning, but I did that, and then I kind of like, I don't know, did it, kept doing it. And I think the first time I kind of like, I was just testing it around, I think. But then when I finally said, well, maybe I should have to get serious with it, I spent about, I don't know, a couple of days or maybe a week making it. So I took all these photographs, and that's what I'm about to look at now. I went online and I found all these clip arts and all these photographs and clip arts and, all types of, what do you call it? Pictures. And I was very detailed about all types of stuff I want. And in fact, I'm about to open up. So basically, I did this whole thing. I don't know what year. I'm gonna check what year it was, because it was probably over 10 years ago. It was definitely over 10 years ago. But let me see what year it was. It was finish and print this law of attraction. Different. Okay, Monkey Man. So this was a first done in no, it wasn't 2000. It was way before that. Okay, so that's those. Okay, that's 2016. So let me get the other ones. So that was like 2008. So yeah, and if I did this in 2008, I probably did something. Yeah, it says 2008. So I guess that's when I first made the official looking one. And what I did was I made a vision board, I guess, and I basically first out wrote everything I was trying to do and I wanted to do. Let me see. And I kind of like did everything from, and I know they first start out with gratitude. So, and I wasn't really putting it toward Jesus or any particular religion. I was just going out and saying, and this is what I'm thankful for. And then, and even the stuff that was pissing me off, like my asshole coworkers or my mom was driving me batty at the time, whatever, I still put down, like, these are all the things I am very thankful for of my mom. What my, even the stuff I was disappointed in, like, okay, the SBA, I don't have any open doors here, but these are the things I am thankful for. So I was putting down all the stuff I was thankful for and all the stuff I was grateful for. And then after I did that, I collected then I said, this is what I want for business, for health, for a husband. And I even put down for property. And because at the time I was living in an apartment I didn't qualify for. And my mom, and at the time, literally like, I guess 2007, my mom, she was basically depressing and not taking her meds and trying to see my dad, who passed away suddenly in 2001. So she was basically just kind of on a suicide mission that I didn't know about. And she didn't want to get any help, whatever that was about. I don't know. But she ended up going to the hospital for having a seizure or something. And so after she came out, she said, well, I better, she wanted to take care of her paperwork, like the power of attorney, making a will and all that stuff, which she never did. So we hired a lawyer and she did all that. And then she told me, because 3 of her friends basically sold their house. Like one lady sold it to her son. I think the other lady sold it to her son. And then the third lady just, I think all 3 of them just sold it to their family or just sold the property and moved to Virginia or moved out to Southern Maryland, or they moved out to the, I'm not gonna say rural, but they moved out to like a 1-level rambler. May I help you, please? Now you're here to say hello. So they moved out to a 1-level rambler. And what are you doing? Now you're over here. Here's your crunchy bits right here. Do you want you ate the crunchy bits. You ate them. Oh, okay. I didn't know she finally ate the crunchy bits. They were on the floor. But anyway, so she was like, oh, well, first she was like, me and my friend, Mary, we're going to get an apartment, have be roommates. And I'm thinking, well, how many minutes is that going to last? 1 or 2 minutes? Because I knew neither one of them going to last for more than 5 minutes. They're great living on their own and talking on the phone. Being roommates, that would last about 3 minutes or less. So what are you doing, Monkey Man? And so I knew that wasn't going to work out too well. With that said, I said, well, then she said, what are you doing, Monkey Man? Come on over. Now you're over here after you were. So then she was like, oh, well, then, because she was having a hard time going up and down the steps in the bathroom. We only had 1 bathroom on the 3rd floor. And, so she was having a little hard time. And so she wanted to be like, oh, because of arthritis. So she was like, okay, well, she needed something that was all on 1 level. And she was very particular about what she wanted. But anyway, she was like, okay, well, let me see about moving into a retirement home like my other 3 friends. They sold their house and got a retirement home or got a Monkey Man. Now you're back over here all the time. At first you weren't at all. Now you're over here the whole time. She got a, so she was like, I want to get a, let me get this cat. Excuse me, please. So then she's like, okay, well, let me get this retirement. Okay, you want to sit here? Oh, you shocked me. Oh. No, my command, stop it. Okay, now she's playtime now. Oh, now she's back over there. And so but she was very particular. She said she wanted to live in a nice retirement home. She didn't want to be too far, old, farty, and decrepit and boring, but she wanted to be very active. She didn't want to be like a nursing home, but she wanted to be active. And she said she wanted it to be in a nice neighborhood, but not, she wanted to be diverse. She didn't want to be like, she wanted to be diverse racially, but she definitely didn't want it to be in a hood. And she wanted to be off the first floor because she didn't want to break in, but then she didn't want to be too high up in case there was a fire, and she wanted a balcony. I'm like, okay, well, those are specifics, but all right. So I made a vision board and I included that, she wants a second. So basically she wants to live in the second floor because she didn't want to live too far up. So she said second or third floor, basically, with the balcony. And all the places were like sold out, full, 2-year waiting list, 3-year waiting list, if they even had an open waiting list. And it was a whole lot of paperwork and a whole lot of stuff to get into one of these retirement independent living centers. And so she was very particular about, she didn't want no dirty hood rat one and this and that. Because like when I was living in College Park with the 2 roommates, they had like a really nice place there, but she didn't really like the area, even though there was nothing wrong with the area. She's like, oh no, that's too ghetto, even though it wasn't ghetto at all. But, she wanted something a little bit more posh than that. And so there was a really nice one way out in the next county, really nice area. I think it was like B'nai B'rith or whatever. It was a really nice place. And it was a 2-year waiting list, but they accepted her application and we had to do all this paperwork and this and that. And at the same time, I was trying to get a place. And, I got the real estate bug like years ago when I was in college. And being, like I said, I had 3 part-time jobs and an apartment I didn't qualify for. I said, you know what, and I was trying to get a property for like a decade, like forever. And so I said, well, let me, see if I could get a place and try to apply for a loan and this and that. And I actually was even taking these free real estate seminars. Like they had like first time home buyer programs classes that the different community centers will host. Like if you go to this class to learn how to get on a budget and budget your money and raise your credit, you get like some brownie points and stars. And then you go to the first time home buyers class, you get a few more brownie points and stars. And once you finish these little sets of classes, then you qualify for like a no money down or $1,000. And this is during the real estate bubble. This is before it burst. So this is when everyone was like getting all types of loans. I don't know, subprime loans, but so they had, I guess, a lot of opportunities then. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna take these classes and see what I can get to. Because I mean, I'm not gonna just sit on the sidelines. And then my cousin got a property also, so I said I definitely gonna get a property. And my grandma, my uncle, and my uncle, they were like, "You want a place? How are you gonna take care of it?" And I'm thinking, wow, you guys are so supportive. So that was the last time I told anyone about it. And I mentioned it before my dad passed. I told my dad a couple times, I said, I would like to build a Virginia cottage and this and that. He said, do whatever you want, just don't ask me for no money. But I told my mom, and she was kind of like negative too, like, oh, you can't take care of, like I'm so irresponsible or something. And I'm like, really? So none of them seemed to have much faith in me. Like my mom didn't have even faith in me, and my grandma and aunts and them didn't have any faith in me, my uncle. So I was like, well, okay, I'm not telling anyone else. So the only person that knew was a friend of the family, my former roommate, a friend of the family, and after the fact, I kind of like near the end, I told my mom's friend, but I told her not to say nothing. So only 3 people knew, and only one person. And I didn't my mom's friend until literally I was about to close, and I didn't tell her because, well, I'm closing, so I guess I'm kind of forced to tell her. But I didn't tell my mom yet. I didn't tell anyone. So basically, I got a house without anyone knowing behind everyone's back because no one had faith in me and said, well, how are you going to do anything? So basically, I did a vision board and I took a bunch of photographs. And I basically wrote down all the stuff I was thinking for and all the stuff I wanted. And then I went on and I took a bunch of stuff off of YouTube, or not off of pictures I found on the internet, like on Flickr and Flickr and all types, like, different photographs all over the website. Basically, everything I wanted, I went throughout the website and collected photographs for. And then I kind of like basically put them all together, made like a collage vision board. And so first I did that, and that was in 2008. And then around this, and then right after, then probably a couple of months later. So first I did that probably, when is that dated? I could tell you it was like 2008. Monk a man. No, monk a man, you're gonna mess up everything. Stop it. Now you're trying to mess up stuff. At first you didn't even want to come over and play with me. So finished print vision boards. Okay, this is not the right date, but 2021 to 15. Okay, so the first one I did had to be, yes, ma'am. No, make a man. So the first vision board I did was definitely latest 3-month calendar, finish and print this vision board. And it was definitely a while. Yeah, well, I don't know why it says that date, but anyway, I know I saw 2008, and I don't know where I can find it now. But 2008 somewhere. Who knows where it's at? Anyway, with that, I don't even know where it's at. The first vision board I did 3 months ago, but I did the vision board, I guess maybe that spring or summer of 2008. And this is after my mom took out, she said she wanted the very specific second floor apartment with balcony in a nice area, but and all this. And this is after, again, like I said, maybe a couple of years after, I've learned about the Powder Springs. So I probably learned about it like 2004 or 5. So I guess like 3-4 years later, I did this very detailed vision board. What, monk, man, what are you doing? And okay, so yeah, August 1st, 2008, on Friday, August 1st, 2008, I guess I finished and print this vision board. So I did that at my job. I was working. Oh gosh, my friend is called, the same friend that I was talking about the vision board is calling me now. Get down. Oh my God. Shit. I have to call her and tell her because I'm using this to I'll have to call her back. Yeah, well, anyway, yeah. So it was August 1st, 2008. So yeah, it was back in August. And so basically I wrote this vision board in August. And at that time I was taking, like, over the summer, I did these like maybe June and July, I went to the real estate class. There was like maybe a weekend here, weekend there. I did all these little real estate programs to get, first time home buyer programs. And so then I basically did this long, detailed thing. And so this is what I wrote down. And then, so basically with this, it's 8 pages long. So I guess I could print it out, open with whatever. But with that, Google Docs, connect to apps. But with that, I basically said, things I like and enjoy most about, and I put down my mom because I love my mom. I can love my mom. I could be around her best when she's, so I was putting down, but I appreciate men who ask to date me and ask me out. DC folks, American people. Oh, I was putting down the stuff I like about my job, even the part-time. I had like a part-time job working at night, which allowed me to do that. So while I worked like at the one, when I first got the job, that one in a nice neighborhood also, I was working from like literally, I worked from 4 p.m. till midnight Friday night because nobody wanted to work Friday night. Then midnight till 8 in the morning on Saturday. And then I did the same thing 4 to midnight Saturday to midnight to 8 on Sunday. Then I worked this midnight to 8 till Monday. So I was working literally 40 hours over a 3-day week, 3 days, but I had to stay up. So I was being very, very productive, doing everything I could think of to stay up, like watching movies. I mean, this YouTube was kind of, I think, new at the time when I first discovered. So I was like watching all types of movies because they were all free on YouTube. I was watching stuff, listening to music videos. I mean, doing all types of productive work. So I did all of this. And so like the first page, or like, so I did that, like, because I know you had to do about gratitude. Then I mentioned about what I needed. And then the second one was, what the hell? What I helped in me. And I said, no more messing with my psychosomatic scalp syndrome, which didn't quite come out. I still mess with it. And my sinuses are completely dry, about my health and healing, about eczema. Then I said, and I guess my eczema is kind of better. I mean, I don't really have it bad. I was saying my throat is good and I have a good tone. I was trying to do my music. So I was talking about singing and music and pitch and vibrato, even though I never practiced, that's a problem. I had a lot of, I was saying I have abundant energy, endurance, flexibility, and strength. Like when I was 24 and dancing, exercising 5 days a week, doing weight, stretching, splits, and all that stuff, enjoying traveling as much as possible, lower normalized blood pressure, cholesterol, sugar, fibers are completely dissolved, drained, and gone. I was talking about like all types of health things, weight loss and massive shrinkage of my belly and gut. I was doing a whole lot of stuff, pronated heals, arches, smooth. So basically the stuff with my health, I'm still waiting for that miracle. My feet are still, I have more issues with my feet, but then again, I gained a whole lot more weight sitting home on this pandemic. But I was saying my bunion would dissolve and my foot bone miraculously returns to normal. I didn't do that yet. Arches pick up and move back up. No, not yet. And the weight loss, the shrinkage of my belly, nah, not yet. And my, gynecology issues are still the same, I guess. But it's better, I guess, because I'm older now. And my blood pressure is normalized because I have to take blood pressure meds. So, and I don't have bad cholesterol. I never did, but I just threw it in there. And energy, endurance, flexibility, and strength. Well, I did have it at the time. And I was going to, and actually before the pandemic, I didn't lose any weight, but I was going to the gym and exercising. At one point, Sundays, I was going to do my Sunday Zumba at 12 noon. Then I was going to this church afterwards. But when the church started, like, not because it was like a 2:00 church, but then I kind of like, he only did that for a few months. And then I was doing Sunday Zumba for a minute. I did Monday Zumba because she was awesome. I mean, she did like African, Brazilian. She was doing all types of this blonde chick at the Y. Tuesday, I did my tag team Zumba. Then I did belly dance. And before I did the tag team Zumba, I was doing like cardio bar, which is like the ballet bar. Wednesday, I had the Zumba at the East Greenbush Y. And then Thursday, I had the glow in the dark Zumba. So I had Zumba at one point 5 days a week and exercising and so forth. Then I stopped going on. And at one point, before I started even doing that, I was going to my friend's Zumba class. So I was going all over the place. So I love to exercise. I love to dance. And when I first moved up here, I would take trips to this thing called Club Shelter, which is in New York City. It was like an awesome club. And, I needed a stress relief. I was literally about to have a nervous breakdown after my mom, everything. So my mom got sick and everything. So I needed a stress relief. So I went to Club Shelter and I was going there a lot. Then I went to this one place called Club Celio in New York City. And that's one of the benefits of living up here. I literally take the mega bus and go down there. And in fact, the first time I went to Club Shelter was like New Year's Day. It was a Sunday. It was New Year's Day. I guess it was 2011 New Year's Day. And I said, well, I need to I need a vacation. I need a break from all the hell I was going through. So I walked literally, or maybe I drove to the bus stop or walked to the bus stop or whatever. I took the subway. I parked at the mall, took the subway to Union Station, took Megabus to New York City, walked and took the subway to the club, checked into the club and got there when I still had to pay $20, which sucked. Went hunting around, found me some booze. I went to the local bodega and found me a couple of things of Boone's Farm, drank it, went down and danced the night away and left whenever the club closed, like the next morning, or because it was like a after hours clubs or something. And so, and I zoned out and it was like a stress relief. It was like music therapy because the music was loud and amazing, the movement therapy, and it was like stress relief to the highest level. Movement therapy, music therapy, dance, And like I was saying, like I like to wiggle a lot, play with my hair, wiggle. I need a swinging bed, things like I like movement therapy. It soothes me. Stress, it clears my mind. Even a roller coaster at one point, like if you're on a roller coaster, you can't think about any of your problems. You can't think about any issues. You just kind of like think about flying and running all over the place. So long as it's not a painful roller coaster that doesn't give you a headache, it's a great, stress relief. I mean, in a sense, it's fun and it's adrenaline, but it's a stress relief and it's lots of fun. So anyway, so as for that, as for music, I haven't been practicing, which is unacceptable, but that's just a fact. As for my eczema, I need to put more shea butter. I've been using shea butter for like a billion years, so that kind of took care of the eczema. And my psychosomatic scalp syndrome is still there. My sinus issues are still whatever. I guess it's not as bad as other times because I take sinus medicine every day, but whatever. And actually, when I was going to the gym at the Y, but even up to the pandemic, after I didn't do as much as I should have, but like after I used to go to the gym, and sometimes I would, when I left the gym, I would go stretching. In fact, unfortunately, I only did it on Wednesdays, but I was, but I should have did it all the time. At one point, I was doing it after class, but the classes end kind of late, so I would say, well, I'll do it before class. But when I would work the weights, then go to class, my muscle was like pure fire. I said, oh my God, this is too painful to do leg weights and then do dancing for an hour. I was like, I can't do that. So I can only do it after class. Cause I didn't have, my legs wouldn't go. I was like, oh, this is too painful. So I will do, I would exercise, then I would stretch, and then I would do some weights. But again, it was ending so late. So I was like being slacking hell. So I didn't do all that. But I mean, that again, was just me being slacking. And so, and I even put a picture of the desert, because I want my sinus to be as dry as a desert. So I have a picture of the arid, dry desert. I have a picture of a beautiful foot arch, and I should download this just so I could, to be honest, to see what's going on. Because a download, yeah, whatever, just download the stupid thing. Anyway. Gosh, those things. So anyway, so that was, I could download and see the pictures of the vision board I did. So as for the results of that one, moderate at best, but then I guess I wasn't. And then I also said that I was going to go to like some like different dance classes and so forth. So, but that was like the first one in 2008. I'd upgraded to doing the whole vision board and verbal affirmations much longer. But here is, where is it? So that was my first one, vision board. I'm just so curious about what it all has on it, because I know I had it was like super detailed. And then the second, so that was like the first, like the second part, which was about, the first part was about being grateful and what I appreciate about my mom and everything. The second part was about my health and healing, and what I claim and so forth. So let me end with editing, so I can see these pictures. So, oh, that's what I did. So I have a picture of your skull. There's a beautiful picture of someone's foot and a beautiful picture of a woman wearing cute pink high heel shoes. I can never wear high heel shoes. A picture of someone dancing and ballet. I did ballet bar class too, which was fun. And it was, cardio. And I did the step class, which is high. And, you have to build up to that. And I have a picture of a skull of a sinus, just sinus cavity in the skull, like a skull. And then I have this behind a desert. So I have a picture of the skull behind a desert, whatever. And then I have some belly dance and flamingo dancers and, things like that. And then I was saying, before I get out of bed in the morning, I sing my thank God for my blessings and a great day song. And pray for my city, family. Command my blessings to be and meditate and visualize on foresee, which was basically this whole little thing. I kind of like put that aside because I shouldn't give that up. But then I was talking about my health, a healthy, thick, sexy body, my Saratoga Springs property, the Circle's Edge Awareness Campaign, and my electric solar water power bubble. And I said I wanted the car that was electric, solar, water power that goes 100 miles an hour. I don't have a car, but I have like paratransit, so it takes me everywhere I need. Now I used to get a rental car. I mean, that's cute, the idea. And and so basically that was my first vision board. And then and at the time, like I said, I did that, and I guess it's August or whatever. And so this is like 2 or 3 months after I started doing the real estate programs in class, and I even did a, what do you call it, pre-qualified for a loan. I went to the loan, pre-qualified, and my credit, which at one point was like 200, I was like really poor because I had like all these, you owe money on your credit card stuff. And then every time I got a ticket, I never paid for a parking ticket, so I went to my credit. So I had like 1,000 parking tickets on my credit and other stupid stuff. And so one of the real estate guys was like, he was like, well, you need to take care of at least this electric bill and this cable bill, take out these 1 or 2 past credit bills. I mean, if you don't care about the tickets, but these things are really going to hurt you. So I went up to Baltimore City and took care of those few bills, which I was mad that I had to do, but I took care of them. And then when I came back and he re-pulled the credit, it magically, I didn't take care of nothing else except those like a old gas bill that I'd never paid because it was in my name, and my roommates one. I got the hell out of Dodge. My roommates were irresponsible, and they're the ones that got evicted. And of course, they didn't pay because they were stupid. But it was in my name, so I took care of that bill. It's like $250 or something. And I took care of like one other bill. And basically, when I took care of those 2 bills and they re-pulled my credit, it went from like